So today I'm going to talk about Jurassic World, the new Jurassic Park movie. I was really looking forward to this movie because I really love the first Jurassic Park. You know, it's one of those movies which the first time I saw it, I was like shaking for the rest of the day. I mean, I'll admit the first time I saw it was the 3D re-release a few years ago, I don't know. I haven't seen Jurassic Park 2 Lost World or Jurassic Park 3, but I've heard those are not as good, so you know, I skipped to 4. 4 takes place 20-ish years, Jurassic World. It takes place about 40 years after the first Jurassic Park. Basically, they've kind of shut down the old thing, and they've sort of created a new park, Jurassic World. Roll credits. And this place is pretty much the original envisionment of everything the people involved with the first park want it to be. You know, it's a giant theme park, and dinosaurs are cool and all. However, things are not as good because after years of it going on, people kind of realize that dinosaur wow factor is kind of worn off. So they felt genetic modification was the best way to solve things. So they create the Indominus Rex, this T-Rex hybrid thing mixed with a bunch of other stuff, which I won't spoil, and not the best idea because it gets out. And now Chris Pratt has to track it down along with Bryce Dallas Howard and her character's nieces. So I really enjoyed this movie, actually. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not a perfect movie, the original's better, but I still really liked this movie for what it was. Now, I really love, I gotta say, Chris Pratt, he's great. He's amazing. Like, last year's Guardians of the Galaxy, he really was awesome in that role. And he's awesome in this role also. Like, wow, he was really convincing. And he brought his own style of humor to the mix, you know. I love his style of humor, it's funny. I mean, it's not as much as a comedy as Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's very much serious, but, you know, that's fine. And Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire, I believe her name was, she was pretty good. And I think it's kind of funny because her character is, like, in heels, like, the entire time. And I just, when you see the movie and you see her character, like, just running around in heels, it's pretty hilarious, I must say. And, you know, the kids, I actually kind of like the kids, you know, they're not the best, like, plot points, like, however, I think for kid actors and doing what they're doing, they're pretty good, and I actually kind of like the character. However, there are a couple of subplots involving the kids that kind of go nowhere. Like, for example, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's, like, around the middle of the movie where they bring up this one subplot to sort of flesh out the characters, and it's never brought up ever again after that, and does absolutely nothing to the plot. So I wonder why they even put that there. It's kind of weird. But whatever, you know. I love the way that Chris Pratt interacts with the raptors. Like, you've seen in the trailers, like, how he's sort of training the raptors, and I actually say, it's really cool watching him do that. Because, you know, it's just like at a zoo, how they'll actually train the animals. And it's really cool the way they actually do that. Like, I like the interactions between him and the raptors in the movie. It's really well done, I feel, and I like that. You know, they're trying to humanize the dinosaurs, as crazy as it sounds, because, you know, so they can unite against the Indominus Rex. That thing is a pretty menacing force, because I remember there was one time, like, it's built up pretty well. Like, you don't actually see it until around a third of the way into the movie. Like, you don't actually see it in its entirety. You only see, like, its eye or its tail or something like that. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, oh. Yeah, it was pretty, you know, it's pretty menacing, I'll say that. Yeah, and it is, in this movie, from start to finish, that thing is a great antagonist. It's not really an antagonist. The monster throughout the whole thing. It's a great thrill ride, I feel, and that thing is pretty good as this sort of antagonizing monster role. There are a couple parts of the movie that kind of slow down and feel kind of weird, but other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot that bogs this movie down for me. This was a pretty good time, and a lot of things were well done, you know. I felt the CGI was really good, you know. I couldn't really tell when they used animatronics, but I kind of feel like they used more CGI than animatronics, which is understandable in our age. But, you know, the original did such a good job with both. So, you know, I don't really fault that. But I still felt it was pretty good. And, you know, there was a lot of CGI, but it wasn't like, you know, Phantom Menace, where it's like everything is CGI and it's all fake and terrible looking. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot else to say about this movie. It has good characters. I like the plot, except for a couple subplots. I like the actors, and it's a pretty good movie. And it's very nice to see Jurassic Park good again after all these years. Because, you know, JP3 wasn't exactly very good, and Lost World was kind of mixed. But, you know, I had a good time with this movie, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with the trilogy after this, because I believe this is going to be a trilogy now. And yeah, and if Chris Pratt is actually confirmed to be the new Indiana Jones, that would be amazing, because he has like 3 franchises under his wing right now. He has the Marvel with the Guardians of the Galaxy, he has Jurassic World, like as we're saying, and he could have Indiana Jones. That would be awesome. But yeah, Jurassic World. I'm going to give Jurassic World, in my percentage score, I'm going to give it a 90%. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's got its problems, but it worked really well. And, you know, any hardcore Jurassic Park fans should be enjoying this movie, even if it's not as good as the original. But still, you should definitely see this movie. It's a lot of fun. So, I thank you all for watching. And next time on Movie Opinions, I'm going to give my opinion on some other movie. Adios, home slices.